It's Zerg all the way down here at the World Championship Series America. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nathanius, joined on the desk by Zombie Grub as we get our way into the winner's match where the people who win even more.
Amazing. Well put. You know, I wish I was a wordsmith like you. I wish I had a voice like you. When you say America, I just, ooh, chills.
That's what I'm going for. That's the effect.
It works though, man. I was sick the entire week, and I almost got that close to like a masculine, deep, like, America. It didn't really work out though.
The tasteless.
I'm really sick.
I'm going for the tasteless, the guttural, tasteless, passion power. You know.
I feel like your America is probably better than Tasteless's. He's been out of America for so long.
That is true. You know what else is true? The guy that's been winning so far today has here's our matches we've had.
Good segue.
True versus Kane is going to be our winner's match. And then after that, the loser of this one will go up against Jon Snow, who just smacked around BioWice a little bit. And yeah, more ZvZ.
Yay!
Yay, ZvZ.
I like almost every person in this group, though. I mean, I think Fear Dragon thought BioWice would do a little bit better, but it's nice to see Jon Snow still being somewhat consistent, even though he's still on the, he could still be knocked out for the decider. But then watching Kane come back into all his glory, used to be not quite on par with Scarlet, but like they would talk a lot. They would definitely she'd give him some tips, he'd give her some tips, and it was just like, I mean, it was almost there, and then he went to study. So
Kane, for me, Kane was he kind of fit in the space of Puck a little bit in terms of being able to take games off of like the big Korean favorites in WCS, but not the crazy success. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a sec. Here he is in the bottom right position of Acid Plant, our red Zerg player. He is Kane.
In the top left, as the blue Zerg for Systrom Gaming, it is True.
Yeah, but I always go back to this style that Scarlet kind of popularized for a little bit, and Kane used it very effectively against Polt. My mind goes back to a match on Merry-Go-Round where he beat Polt, and he did like that mass Ling Bane with no upgrades, really fast lair speed Baneling, and just like swarmed over him. And it's like those moments of brilliance that come out of some of the NA players, which I compare, like, I said earlier, like Puck beating Hyun, but neither of those players really made it crazy deep into WCS America back then. And of course, Kane took his hiatus for a long time.
See, I thought when you were going along the lines of like, oh, I remember when Kane did this one thing, and then afterwards, and I was like, oh, you're talking about that time that he took his shirt off and like screamed and yelled and ran around his room.
Oh yeah, when he won that match, that was.
Wasn't that when he beat Polt?
That might have been the interview that we did from the.
Exactly.
Kane's a fun guy. A lot of passion, a lot of heart.
Yeah, he was definitely a fun guy to watch. I mean, even when he lost, he was always very, very cool about it. So.
Trolly, like, kind of.
Yes, he certainly is that.
Trolly, to put it lightly.
Yeah, you gotta take him with a grain of salt, I guess. But showing some really good ZvZ today. He's been back into Starcraft for, I want to say like a year. I feel like was when he was like first posting, like, oh, I'm back in GM and whatnot. But to be up in the winners bracket against True, and then we'll see how it works out too. Like, these guys are gonna have some fun ZvZs.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of Kane. I don't know if he's been coming out to the events to try and qualify when he's been knocked out of Challenger, but he's the kind of I would like to see him if he doesn't make it into that stage from this Challenger, which I think in this situation he totally has a good chance of making it out of this group. I would love to see him come to the tournament and just try to play, because I think he could easily make it to the second or third group stage, and I think he has a very solid chance against a lot of these players because he's got his mechanics down pretty pat. I don't know what it is that's super been holding him back, but his gameplay looks really clean. Maybe he gets a bit flustered in the later stressful situations of the game, but I've been enjoying watching him. I thought he was very all over the place, very aggressive in all the matchups last season as well. And that ZvZ he played earlier was really fun to watch.
It was. Got a weird wonky build the first game, and then just a solid defense against whatever Jon Snow threw at him in the second game. So I think, of course, more against True, it will be about that Ling Baneling phase, as True kind of, didn't do that the first game of the day and lost that, and then he like flipped on his True switch, and it was all Gucci from there. So that's what I expect to see for him to test Kane with. And actually, I think these guys are pretty good at the same time, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's some I don't know, not exactly a bond between these two, but they probably recognize each other's style quite a bit. Lings get into scouts, and I guess True's not really going to bother quite so much yet.
Yeah, Kane's just getting eyes on everything. That lair starts up, I think, right as the Lings leave the base. Evolution Chamber's now on the way for Kane. Kane definitely strikes me as the type of player to get like a +1 melee, move into his lair, maybe grab a Spire. But with he's still only got 1 gas, and he hasn't really, yeah, so with only 1 gas, I don't really guess that's really much of an option.
No, I guess...
He could take all of them when he gets his lair, but since he hasn't started it yet, it leaves me wondering what his plan is.
Nice snipe. Yeah, both of them still kind of waiting, but True going for all 4 of his gases in that lair. Still no Roach Warren. He does just go for the +1 missile. All right, so add on the Roach Warren a little bit later. But True going for a lot of Lings. Kind of an odd time. Not early on in the workers, but at a pretty solid 40.
There's a big window for this, I guess, right? Because Kane's investing everything into all of this Roach tech. He doesn't really have a whole lot else. And the Spire's done. So behind this, True's like, I'm going to go for the Mutalisks. And wow, Kane gets a single happy Zergling inside of that base to see everything.
Yeah, also saw a decent number of Lings. This Overlord will see even more, as True is just, like, he's swamping with Lings right now. Kane has a couple of defensive Banelings, but it is only the 2 with absolutely no Lings on the board right now. 14 are being made, but True is piling on the pressure. 1 Baneling gets popped. This next one is looking for the juicy hit, but it looks like True going to take a very dangerous path, but a wide open one in the natural, maybe into the main. No, he actually gets auto AI'd over to that Baneling.
That was brutal. It's a brutal pickoff right there.
Yeah.
A lot of Lings. More Lings on the way for True, by the way, so he is not going to relent on this pressure. Kane is flooding them out now, too. Worker count heavily favoring Kane, so in this scenario, he really just needs to hold on, find his roost, and defend against this, but now they're getting onto the drone line in the natural expansion.
Yeah, still no Banelings, as he's been so busy trying to make any Lings that won't just die immediately. He can hardly make any Banelings.
Yeah.
Making Roach to this point would really be that helpful, as he just simply gets surrounded. Although, speaking of surround, True gets surrounded by the reinforcing Lings of Kane. Drones are tackling the mineral line Lings, but it looks like True just has too much army, and now he has Mutas on the way. He did not cancel that Spire, even though it was scouted. He just was relentless with aggression, and Kane is not able to keep up.
Kane has no time to even try and get anything like Spore Crawlers out. He lost the Queens, so the anti-air capabilities are grossly limited, and the Lings are still in that mineral line, going after more drones, more Zerglings. True has the worker lead now. Kane's only advantage in this game is gone. Now this first Spore Crawler is on the way, but the Mutas, they're coming.
Yeah, there it is. He's going to try and counter, maybe try and buy some time, so the Mutas have to come back. Maybe True didn't make a lot of Lings, and he is starting to run sparse on those, but the Mutas are just headed right towards the natural. They're already here, tackling the 1-2 Queens, trying to micro it back. It's not a lot of Mutas, but once they're all put together, they will be able to take out this last Queen. One just popped. And the Spore Crawlers are done, so it was razor-thin edge to defend against the Mutas, and I guess technically he still will lose drones to them.
Yep, and I mean, he could beat the drum of that hatchery, and the Glaives will bounce off into the workers anyway. GG, True takes the first game in the series. Tough. I mean, Kane got some amazing Baneling hits, but just wasn't able to keep the Bane production up, I guess, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, he didn't. He only had those Banelings for defense, and then when he started making his own Lings, because he had like 0 Lings when there's already 20 on the field for True, because he was just making them, they either traded out well enough or they got surrounded and didn't trade out very well at all, which means that in both situations, no more Lings for Banelings. And he really needed them because he did not have enough pure Ling production. So that is what we expect True to do, though. That's what I expect him to do, just how he took out BioIce. He just took out Kane, and I'm sure we'll see it in the second game, too.
Yeah, that's a nasty way to get knocked down as we wait for the next lobby to get put together. Kane, I mean, going for the setup that he was doing was always going to be risky, though. Like, he droned up really heavily. He starts the upgrade at a good time, but he waited forever to get the Roach Warren, and he delayed his lair significantly. Comparatively to True, like, yeah, he had access to Speedlings, but the tech he was going for, he didn't do any, he was just waiting way too long to get there.
I think there is that phase, though, and you really can't blame Kane so much because it worked out well against Jon Snow, but there's that phase where it's like, okay, we're past like 24, we're past like 30 drones. I guess we're not doing that Ling thing, and I'm going to try and take advantage of that, and then True is just like, well, no, I'm just going to make Lings whenever I want.
True's like, I'm pretty good at lings every phase of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And it was at the exact time where Kane did not have any lings of it. Well, not a lot of lings of his own, and also had not yet started to make those roaches because he did wait a long while. He had like 7 more drones than True.
Yep. All right, Catalyst is going to be the next map as we load in. And we've got Kane going up against True. Good times. As we're about to start this one off. Everything is fine here, guys.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Spawning in the... Okay, we're almost there. Goodness gracious, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Everything is fine over here, we promise.
No problems with boxes at all. Oh, okay then. These intros done. In the top left, going for an early pull, it is the blue Zerg, True.
One man, lots of Zerglings. He faces off against, in the red, in the bottom right, he is Kane.
It's a perfect opportunity to hear Kane voice. Oh, it's Bane voice.
Bane, yeah.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. Oh, darn.
Just one letter away.
Yes, there it is. So Kane, he's actually going for the 16 hatchery. I had to do that last game, but less so about the hatchery timing, more about that pool timing, because he still adds in a bunch of drones in between.
Hatch first,
and the
3
pool.
drones.
That's still a problem. So I guess his hatchery might be done a little bit faster and, like, I don't know, be
I don't know,
not
man.
cancelable.
That's
further.
then it's the gas.
Yeah. And True is sticking on.
Okay, now it's
Gas Geyser. Yeah.
your pool starts while your enemy has 6 lings past a quarter way done.
Yeah.
It's going to be a bumpy ride, man.
It is, but lots of Zerg players find themselves in this position, and there's still some...
He's still mining gas too, so I am expecting a Bane.
Yes, yeah.
Yar.
There it is. But as I said, Kane, I'm sure has had to deal with this before, and maybe you get lucky.
The Overlord's going to see the lings, by the way. He's about to spot them.
You're not
very
secret
far
about
out.
this.
Yeah, nothing hidden here. So now it all just comes down to what is he going to do? How is he going to defend against this? He can't really do anything until the spawning pool is done.
Sure. But that's what we're waiting to see. So he's going to do a spine crawler immediately, just assuming that True, and he saw more lings on the way, so he kind of knows, that True is going to commit really, really hard at this to the Banelings as well. True does sometimes add a hatchery and not make another Overlord right now. In fact, that's actually something that True does a lot, so maybe he'll do that here. But we're still got to pay close attention, like how much damage do the lings do. Actually, very awkwardly, Kane pulls only like 3 drones. Usually we see an entire, almost entire drone pool if they're going to bother doing that.
Yeah, and that's going to be easy pickings for him as we have that hatchery starting up for True back on the top side of the map. And here comes the Speedlings, here comes the Banes there. And the thing is, these Speedlings can also hold those Slowlings in position. He's going to try to get the wraparound on the Queen. Great Bane detonation and blows up everything that Kane has. Well, I mean, I don't know, Kev. It's not looking all that good.
Yeah, it's that was pretty much a magical Baneling connection right there.
You can't really ask for more than that.
No, you can't. Even damage the Queen. I guess if you got the spine crawler too, that's perfect.
Gonna grab the second Queen.
Yes.
Around, and yep, there she goes.
Yeah, and the lings are awful close to that Baneling.
Oh my god, another. I guess most of those.
That was a pretty good hit. He's gonna save this one Baneling. He is. Broodlings are trying to target fire it. Not even. No. Okay, they're gonna get it.
Goodness.
Well, at least they got that much.
I don't know what to say here. Kane has still a worker lead, right? It's like his speed's not done yet, and he still has to deal with Banelings. He's lost the hatchery. True's got that.
The real concerning thing is that Kane doesn't have his own Banelings. Like, if he had his own Banelings, he's going to, like, one base all in return or something like that. True did go for the hatchery. He didn't just continue making lings and more Banelings, but then True also could have just made 2 defensive Banelings. You get into a Ling-Baneling war, and there's still no guarantee that Kane can do any return damage. But now, with absolutely nothing to throw across the map, maybe a couple of lings, but not your own Banelings, as you see there they are right now, you're probably not going to get very much.
Yeah, and True should be able to hold on to this pretty well. I mean, we have the Queen coming out now too. He gets to surround on that morphing Baneling, but as you said, Kane doesn't have the option to build Banelings aggressively, so there's no, like, big punch that he can throw at him where he's like, I'm gonna blow up everything.
No. He could try and, like hold on to, like, 20 lings and then surprise him, but he's actually showing just barely this Overlord that there are more lings on the way. So True just kind of matches that, knows that his hatchery being ahead as much as it is still a pretty good sign. He doesn't want to under-drone, of course, and lose that lead, but that's not Actually going to be a worry. He's going to be able to take out an Overlord as well. That's going to supply block Kane. Things just look tough for Kane.
We'll start to stabilize a little bit, but the problem here is that the Baneling Nest is still actually only just started. So if True really wants to, he could go for a bunch of Banes. However, in this scenario, it's important to keep in mind that Spine Crawler comes down, so the ability to target fire Banelings is still there. Big opportunities to be had. And here's the first couple Banelings. If the Queens and the Spines focus it, they should be able to get through just fine.
Yeah, there's 3 Queens, in fact, so if you just like hockey everything here, you can definitely target fire those Banes.
That's very easy Baneling sniping. And you know what? True's like, all right, gets a couple more drones going. And Kane gets his lair as that Baneling Nest comes to finish. And here we go. Lair's going to start it for True as well. As True's realizes, like, I probably won't be able to kill him that easily. But True can at least contain him if he wants to try to take a third, maybe? I don't know.
Well, it seems to be exactly what's happening. I contain anyways. I mean, maybe he'll get that third eventually. There's no Overlord coverage for Kane after that one Overlord died. Well, I guess it's over here, but it doesn't see if that third base was... I guess it would barely see the drone. Actually, Lings are going to go try and scout, see what the lair timing is for True. Maybe they'll get the scout. Which is a queen, 2 queens. Yeah, look at the scout.
Yep, should be able to see it. No problem. See that lair is, it's a coming.
Yeah, but not a lot of gases coming with it. Just this one was just planted down. It is a Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber, which I believe the Lings just barely missed. Yes.
So we've got True feeling, he's got to be feeling good after the way that this game has started. Things have been going really well for him. The lair is now done for Kane. And for True, Kane's going to boot up a Spire.
Yep.
His comeback play.
And he's done, I mean, so True couldn't really do any more damage, and he also couldn't really do a lot of scouting, because there are Banelings and Spinecrawler Queen combo defense to take care of, like, if he sent 2 or 4 Lings in just to get the scout, it'd be kind of difficult to do. So, I mean, True, what do you do when you want to come from behind? You probably go for a Spire, and he does see, like, these 2 gases were taken, maybe kind of early. So it should be on his mind, but I guess it's not, like technically he doesn't realize or know absolutely that it's a Spire. That might be the key to Kane gaining some momentum back, some map control. But actually, the Overseer did just get in here.
Yep, gets to see a little bit. Ooh. A lot of Lings coming out for both sides. We got the Roaches, the Banelings being added for True, and perhaps trying to smite this third base. Kane's Lings, or Kane's Banelings getting poked at by these Lings. Trades 1 Ling apiece for those 2 Banes. Not bad at all.
Yeah, good. It doesn't look like True's going to be able to do much damage to the third base. Just, oh, well, actually 2 of his own Banelings come from behind.
Oh, no.
He's going to have to cancel it. Yep.
Yeah. Cancel.
So close. It wasn't for those 2 Banelings from behind.
Ooh, almost gets the drone.
Barely saves it, but at least he saves the drone, I guess. 18 Lings, 4 Mutas on the way. True, how many Queens does he have? Okay, so he's going to go up to 5 Queens total. Kane just got an Overseer in everywhere and saw that there weren't actually a lot of Spore Crawlers. And just because True, not looking to defend back at home, but bring the fight to Kane.
He's like, well, this is one way to deal with Mutas. I'm going to keep building Queens, and I'm going to shove them right across the map in that Nydus for him. And, I mean, the way that this is set up, too, that third base is still under insane pressure, so he's forced to keep his attention diverted to that location, trying to defend against this, trying to hold it together. He's like, okay, Mutalisk's out. That's fine. That's not what I'm worried about. He's going to get that Nydus. He's going to pop him out. And, I mean, Kane has an opportunity to block that as well. If he can get some Banelings to smite the Nydus right as it pops, the opportunity's there. But tucking it over here in the top right, does he have vision of that? Looks like he should just barely.
Yeah, just barely. So
everything's coming. Everything's coming. Does he have Banelings? That's the really important question here. 3 of them are on the way.
Oh,
it's gonna unload.
Gets
it. That's a fantastic denial there. And True on the back foot a little bit after that, but he's still gonna get on top of that third base. And he's starting another Nydus because he's like, all right, Kane, are those your only Banelings, baby? Because I've got more Nyduses coming your way. The Mutas are going to try to break it down as fast as they can. Transfuse is going to be so important here. And there they go. Nydus is unloading. The Queen does not get the transfuse. True.
Actually,
I mean, this is really weird because the third base gets denied again, and the natural is under attack.
This is really awkward because he's not putting the high energy Queens in the right order, so they're popping out either not with a lot of energy or second or third. So very, very awkward indeed. Now he gets the third base. That was a kill. So 300 minerals plus the cancel. They got 11 drones as well. But Kane does have like 12 mutas now, which is like a solid amount to gain that map control I was talking about. And if he could somehow deal with the third, we actually Ling's in here. Yeah, get the cancel on the sport crawler, exactly.
Now that's going to be really big. That's going to open things up for these mutalisks a good bit more. I mean, the queens are still here, but the opportunity, having a sport would help so much in this situation. The transfuses are going down. We see the queens beginning to fall as the mutalisks for Kane are doing a tremendous amount of work. Those two spore crawlers not in time. And look at that, another Nydus worm is on the way inside of the main base. He's pulling the mutas back with these. He uses the contaminate on the hatchery to deny the larva, but the lings are ready, the banelings are ready. 100 minerals and 100 gas just to buy a little bit of time. Not sure how I feel about that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's going to lose his third base otherwise, it seemed, as those sport crawlers weren't quite complete. But roaches do speed their way into the natural, try and get more drone kills, actually get surrounded by lings, and the mutas with their glaive worms do take them down pretty quickly. True, though, has bought that time, not just for sport crawlers, but also for hydras.
And also rebuilding his queen count. So +2 attacks on the way, hydra range is on the way. And True lives to fight another day in this map.
Yeah, I mean, Kane is still, he still has.
Oh, by the way, these overlords. Ouch.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward for you to be the one going overlords. But he has units that can, like, if True were to really just like drop everything and really fumble the ball here, it would be against mutas, I think.
Yeah.
Not against roaches.
It can snowball. It can snowball so hard too. 1 or 2 missteps, and then those mutalisks just rip everything to pieces. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, he's still in a wonky scenario, could use that Nydus at any moment to try and push through. There, the Spore Crawler inside of the main base is going to get focused down. A couple of the mutalisks are going to die, but there goes a Queen, and the rest of the force are going to have to come up in here. The Creep not really connecting to main in the natural. That Tumor is actually walling it off. So...
Oh, that was awkward. Queen's unable to help too much.
Come on.
And they didn't really get a lot of transfuses off on the Hydras either, which maybe like one of the 2 of these mutas would have died.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's just going to come out here and fight these Queens head to head. Needs to retreat to the Spine Crawler though, as we've got... Wow, this is so crazy. Like, True under so much pressure, he's building more drones.
Did he see
that? Trying to keep his cool here. And the Roaches are just going to go across and attack. He's like, all right, send the mutas home. Give me some time.
It's really all about the mutas, though.
He has an Overlord, by the way, on the west side of that third. So there's an opportunity for him to put another Nydus down if he ever feels like he has room to go for another big attack. And he can try to punch everything through there as well, because there's not vision for Kane. He hasn't cleared that out yet. Or maybe he will now.
Yeah, there we go.
Too soon. Caster curse, rip.
Well, True is continuing to buy time. Anytime those mutas really start to snowball, he just sends the roaches forward. It seems to be worthwhile in that regard as he continues to try and build up a better Hydra count. He lost like 4 or 5 already. And now going up to like a solid 8. I mean, it's up against Kane's 18 mutas though, and they have +1, although the Hydras do have +2. And these roaches still gonna try and find opportunities in case like the lings aren't here, in case the mutas are very far away. But ever since that first run by the Code 11 drones, they've only been good at keeping the mutas back home.
Yeah, Kane has been doing a pretty solid job of trying to squeeze this one back. I still think that there's room here to try and like just solidify. And I wanted to see him try another Nydus on the west side of the third, just because getting killed right as everything was coming out was the issue. But I feel like if he unloaded all of his queens and his hydras there, and maybe a drone or 2 to get like an offensive spore, there's really been nothing on the ground at all for Kane. So for me, it just feels like he just needs to get a decent amount of anti-air through. But
I mean, True, I would not mind if he went for like a 3rd spur crawler in some of these places either, because he sees the muta counts continuing to grow.
It's mass muta. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Like, and I think we might just see, True go up to Hive, perhaps, try to get Vipers to deal with this if he thinks it's going to literally only be Mutalisks forever, or maybe Infestors.
Yeah, right. Like that is kind of the choice right now. Hive would take a little bit longer, a little more expensive, but no longer have that burrowed fungal.
Yeah, there's the Hive. Yeah, burrow fungal was really what did it there. Well, burrow fungal is what did it versus everything, let's be honest.
Yeah. These roaches were tucked to the left side, not seen by Kane, but even then they didn't do very much against the weak drones.
So let's take stock. 25 Hydras, 6 Queens versus 23 Mutas. Well, drone count's about dead even. Upgrades are pretty good for True. He's got his 2-1. His Hydra speed's about to finish as well. And he's trying to get this 4th base. Infestors are going to come out. He's also going to get the Hive. So double dipping a little bit there on his tech choice as he gets that 4th up. And now the Hydras, this Hydra count is getting terrifying.
Yeah.
So if you're Kane now, you want to just get a swath of speed banes and just crash into him, right?
Exactly. He's going to go for another cancel on the 4th base, and that is usually where it's difficult for the defending player against Nydus to continue with their momentum. Like, they get one pretty darn good army, but then they have trouble if they can't get that 4th base up. So that's why Kane's going to, kind of keep tabs on, but it seems very temporary as the creep continues to be attempted to be pushed out. But yeah, a lot of speed banes, right? Like, if the fungals miss, if the army is clumped up, like, that could be the death of all the Hydras.
Yeah, 2 Vipers are on the way. This is going to be it. Like, you want to try to force the fight, get the Parasitic Bomb on 2 or 3. Well, I mean, a Viper can only cast 1, but if you can get 2 of those mutas and he doesn't split them fast enough, the damage that they do is insane.
Sees the fungal, of course, scouted the hive, knows that that's going to be a possibility. Couple of banelings off to the right side.
9 drones.
Not bad. And larva. See the Viper, see the Infestors. He knows that the mutas could, if he miscontrols them for like 4 seconds.
He's dead. Parasitic Bomb plus fungal growth, and it's GG, baby.
Yeah, that's all the mutas gone, and he's just hoping for like mass banelings, which he doesn't actually have that much of, and he doesn't have that big of a bang for either.
And also fungal the Banes if he wants to get offensive as well.
Yeah, he could. Which, that's exactly what Kane is hoping not to have happen. I think he actually wants to try and pull the Hydras maybe a little bit forward.
Oh, big fungal! He's splitting.
Where's
Takes
the army?
Another one, but he needs the army here to actually get the finisher, and barely. Wow. That last fungal, very disappointing. Now, if he skirts to the right side with the Vipers, he could try to cut him off, but a big Link Flood is heading towards the west side, and we do have a couple of roaches here to defend, but it's going to be so tricky dealing with this big attack. The Hydras get caught off guard by the Banelings, and this is so bad. No fungal to stop them.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hydras are going to die.
Those are some pretty darn good connections as the Muta is still alive and well, but still want to be very wary in case there are some fungals in the back pocket or some blinding parasitic bombs. That was really good.
Kane's giving me a heart attack over here.
He's making this a very close game. I mean, this was the style to do so, but True needs to really conserve, I guess, his energy.
Whiffing that one fungal also. Just, opportunity.
Yeah. He also has not had any pressure on the other side of the map since that last Roach run by. So he doesn't know about the 4th base.
Bases. He's getting cash money, cash money, cash.
Can Kane actually do this? He's getting another, well, he's trying to get another Baneling force up here. It's not the most impressive Baneling count, but actually they're just going to roll right into the 3rd base as the Muta's going to the main, so True is not paying attention.
He gets the spore there, too. That base is very softened up now. Mutas, grabs the field. He gets a Parasitic Bomb off.
There we go. But it was a good,
still
counter
27
micro, so.
Mutalisks alive, though.
Yeah, and I mean, he's making 8 more. So this is definitely not over, but True does have a 4th base, and his army is still like, those are just Lings over there, but still, Lings can kill a base for certain, so much for being on 4 bases. He's gonna be back down to 3, as, there we go, Kane does target fire down that 3rd hatchery. Kane's playing a very, very good game, but True's army is technically still better. If it gets the fungal, if it gets the parasitic bomb, you'll see Kane's entire army, Banelings, Lings, Mutas, whatever,
all die
just
instantly,
explode instantly, exactly. And True's actually getting frustrated, I think. Gonna go ahead and push the attack to his opponent's side of the map, but gosh, this was actually really dangerous. Infestus over to the right side, not protected.
This is all or nothing right now, doing it like this. The Mutalisks are gonna be engaging over here. They fly over the Hydralisks. The Vipers are coming though. He's looking for the parasitic bombs. He's got the Infestors on the right side.
Oh, he gets a couple. Oh, he gets more than a couple.
God, it's so hard to split.
Oh, how do you split that?
Those Mutas. Oh, they're the fungal. Everything dies. That's what he said, dies instantly. Well, there you go. GG. True. Able to bring it back in the very stressful clutch situation there at the end.
That was. I feel like it's, if those Banelings had hit the Infestors as well as all those Hydras, wiped that out, maybe the Vipers aren't being microed either and they die. So then you don't have any spellcasters and you run out of cash and gas.
Yeah.
That's when you actually lose that game where we kind of called from the beginning should have been in True's favor.
Yeah. True played that one really well. I gotta say, Kane, props for causing enough chaos that he was able to bring that one back.
Yeah.
But there were definitely some misplays by True that I thought were a little bit uncharacteristic. The Nydus, he's able to unload, doesn't transfuse. And then he gets the next Nydus. A Roach comes out first instead of Queens. Like, how does that happen? Because if you're able to unload that in his opponent's base, that was before the Muta count reached a point where he wouldn't have been able to deal with it with just Queens. So, but he moves on now, and he's going to make his way over to the bracket. Kane will go down to fight the final match against Jon Snow.
Rematch.
Here in WCS America. Yeah. Hopefully Jon Snow can put up a bit of a better fight because Kane bopped him earlier. That's what's coming up next. You're watching the World Championship Series America. We'll be right back.